Good day, everyone. I am the leader of Group 4, so this is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as educational material. Our topic is all about environmental crisis. So, what is environmental crisis? The environmental crisis refers to the global degradation of natural ecosystems and resources due to human activities. It encompasses issues like climate change, deforestation, pollution, loss of biodiversity, and depletion of resources. Human-included factors such as burning fossil fuels, industrial activities, and unsustainable agricultural practices contribute significantly to this crisis. Climate change, driven by greenhouse gases and emissions, leads to rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and sea level rise, impacting ecosystems and communities worldwide. Deforestation disrupts habitats, reduces carbon sinks, and threatens the biodiversity. Pollution from various sources including plastics, chemicals, and waste contaminate air, water, soil, posing health risks to humans and wildlife. Loss of biodiversity destabilizes ecosystems and reduces resilience to environmental changes. Additionally, overexploitation of resources like water, land, minerals that leads to depletion and degradation of natural resources. Addressing the environmental crisis requires collective action, sustainable practices, policy changes, and technological innovation to mitigate its impacts and preserve the planet for future generations.
Everyone. I'm here to talk about the climate change and pollution. So first of all, I'm Eric Angelo Tiare. The first topic that I will talk about is all about climate change. So what is climate change? Now, climate change refers to significant and long-term alteration in global or regional climate patterns. It includes in temperature, uh, precipitation, sea levels, and the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events over extended periods, typically decades or longer. So, climate change, one of the most pressing environmental crisis of our time. Climate change results from the accumulation of greenhouse gases or GHGs such as carbon dioxide or CO2 and methane CH4 in the atmosphere. These gases trap heat leading to global warming which in turn events which in turn causes rising sea levels, uh, extreme weather events and disruption to ecosystem and biodiversity. So that is climate change. So the second one is pollution. So what is pollution? Uh, Pollution refers to the introduction of harmful or undesirable substances into the environment that can cause harm to living organisms, ecosystem, and the environment as a whole. Pollution can take various forms including air pollution, water pollution, soil contamination, and noise pollution. So what are the sources of pollution? Uh, Sources of pollution includes industrial emissions, vehicle exhaust, uh, agricultural runoff, chemical spills, improper waste disposal, and various human activities. Um, Pollutants can have adverse effects on human health, wildlife, aquatic ecosystem, air quality, and soil fertility. And pol- pollution can contribute to health problems such as respiratory diseases and cancers.
So my topic is desertification. It is a degradation of land in arid, semi-arid, and dry sub-humid areas into desert due to various factors like climate change, overgrazing, and deforestation. So desertification, it is a process by which fertile land become desert and typically due to combination of natural and human factors like climate change, deforestation, and overgrazing. So one of the example is the Sahel region in Africa, where overuse of land for agriculture and grazing, coupled with a drought and climate change, has led the expansion of the Sahara Desert into once fertile areas. So, one another example for this in here in the Philippines. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Northern Samar or Eastern Samar, which is the land of there is uh, it has started to have a mining. Then the area has expand to degrade. Then it can also affect, which is the climate change and overgrazing. So that is the desertification.
My topic is all about ozone depletion. So ozone depletion refers to the gradual thinning of ozone layers in the Earth's stratosphere, primarily caused by human-made chemicals called ozone-depleting substances or ODS, such as chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, halons, and bromine-containing compounds. The ozone layer plays a crucial role in protecting life on Earth by absorbing the majority of sun's harmful ultraviolet rays or radiation. However, when ODS are released into the atmosphere, they break down the ozone molecules, leading to a reduction in ozone concentration. This thinning allows more UV radiation to reach the Earth's surface, resulting in increased risk of skin cancer, cataracts, and other health problems in humans, as well as harm to ecosystems and wildlife. The discovery of the Antarctic zone hole in the 1980s raised the global awareness about ozone depletion, leading to the implementation of international agreements such as the Montreal Protocol in 1987, which phased out the production and use of ODs or ODS. Thanks to these efforts, the ozone layer is slowly recovering, but continued vigilance and compliance with regulations are necessary to ensure its full restoration and protection.
So, how does population growth exist? Population growth exists when the number of births exceeds the number of deaths in a given population over a period of time, and this results in an increase in the total of population size. Additionally, factors like immigrations and people moving into a region and can also contribute to population growth. When more people are born than die, or when more people move in that move out, the population grows. And the relationship between population growth and environmental issues are closely connected because as the population increases, so does the demand of resources like water, food, and energy. This leads to more pollution, deforestation, habitat destruction, and climate change. So more people mean more waste, which can strain ecosystem and contribute to air and water pollution. Additionally, as urban areas expand to accommodate growing populations, natural habitats are often replaced by buildings and infrastructures, further impacting the environment. And managing the population growth sustainably is crucial for addressing these environmental challenges. Addressing population growth involves implementing strategies to manage and stabilize the number of people living in a particular area or globally. So here are clear and simple ways to address population growth. First is access to family planning, providing education and access to contraceptives allows the individuals to plan their families according to their desire and resources. Second is empowering women. When women have access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities, they tend to have fewer children, and empowering women led to smaller family sizes and help stabilize population growth. Improving healthcare. Better healthcare reduce infant mortalities and rates, leading to fewer children being born as a way to ensure that some survive into adulthood. This can help slow population growth and economic development. Investing in economic development can lead to improved living standards, which often correlates with lower birth as the families prioritize quality of life over quantity of children. Fifth is awareness campaigns. Educating communities about the benefits of smaller families and importance of family planning can help change culture norms and behaviors regarding to reproductions. Sixth and last is migration policies. Managing migration can help to control population growth in specific regions by balancing inflows and outflows of the people. So, by implementing these strategies, communities and nations can work towards stabilizing population growth in a sustainable manner.
What is the relationship of food security to environmental issues? Food security and environmental issues have a complex and intertwined relationship. Environmental issues can directly impact food security by affecting agricultural productivity and availability. Climate change, for example, leads to unpredictable weather patterns such as droughts, floods, and heat waves, which can devastate crops and livestock, leading to food shortages and price volatility. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns can disrupt planting seasons, affect crop pollination, and increase the spread of pests and diseases, further compromising food production. Environmental degradation can including deforestation, soil erosion, and water scarcity also undermines agricultural productivity and diminishes the availability of fertile land for cultivation. On, on the other hand, food production and consumption patterns contribute to environmental issues. Unsustainable agricultural practices, such as excessive use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, monocropping, and overexploitation of water resources, can degrade ecosystems, pollute water bodies, and harm biodiversity. Livestock production is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and water pollution. The expansion of agricultural land often used to leads to the conversion of forests and other natural habitats, resulting in habitat loss and threatening biodiversity. These environmental consequences not only impact the planet's health but also have long-term implications for food security as they compromise the resilience and sustainability of agricultural systems. Achieving food security requires addressing environmental issues and promoting sustainable practices throughout the food system. This involves adopting climate-smart agricultural techniques, conserving natural resources, protecting biodiversity, and transitioning to more sustainable and resilient food production and by consumption patterns. By mitigating environmental challenges and promoting sustainable agriculture, we can enhance food security and build more resilient, and equitable food system for the future.
Food security is examined through the lens of social structures, inequalities, and systems that influence people's access to food. It encompasses not just the availability and affordability of food, but also the societal factors that shape who has access to nutritious food and who doesn't. So sociologists analyze how economic, political, culture, and environmental factors intersect to afford food security for different groups within society. They explore issues such as poverty, food distribution, systems government, policies, agricultural practices, and cultural norms that influence food access and consumption patterns. Understanding food security from a sociological perspective helps identify identify inequalities and develop policies and interventions to address them.
So, good evening everyone. My name is Engine Cadet Taping Dexter Gabriel, and I am here in front of you to discuss my topic, which is what is the relationship of sustainability to environmental issues. So, sustainability and environmental issues are deeply interconnected. Sustainability refers to meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Environmental issues encompass a wide range of challenges related to the health and integrity of the natural world, including climate change, pollution, habitat destruction, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and resource depletion. Sustainability addresses these environmental issues by promoting practices and policies that minimize negative impacts on the environment and promote conservation, regeneration, and responsible use of natural resources. By embracing sustainability principles, societies can strive to reduce pollution, mitigate climate change, ecosystems, and ensure that resources are used in a way that preserves them for future generations. In essence, sustainability provides a framework for addressing environmental issues in a holistic manner, considering not only the short-term consequences of human actions but also their long-term implications for the health of the planet and its inhabitants. So, sustainability is deeply intertwined with environmental issues as you can see or as you can relate. So, as it represents as a holistic approach to addressing the ecological challenges facing our planet while promoting human well-being and prosperity. Sustainability provides a framework for addressing environmental issues holistically, recognizing the interconnections between environmental health, human well-being, and economic prosperity. By embracing sustainable practices and principles, we can work towards building a more resilient, equitable, and thriving future for present and future generations. That is all. Thank you.
So I'm Ian Rodrigo Tigaliantes and my topic is all about development of environmental issues. When we talk about development, we mean making things better in society, like building cities, factories, and improving how people live. But when we do these things, it can affect the environment the world around us. Sometimes development can help the environment. So, for example, using clean energy like solar power or wind power instead of burning fossil fuels can make the air cleaner and reduce pollution. Also, using new technologies can help us use less water and produce less waste, which is good for the environment. However, sometimes development can hurt the environment. For instance, when we build like new roads or cities, we might have to cut down trees or destroy the habitats for animals. Industries can also pollute the air and water, making it unsafe for both people and wildfire. And when we dig up resources like oil for minerals, it can damage the land and harm ecosystems. So, it's important to find a balance between development and protecting the environment. We need to think about how our actions affect nature and find ways to do things that helps both people and planet. This means using resources wisely, reducing pollution, and making sure we're not destroying habitats. To do this, we need to plan development projects carefully. We should consider how they will impact the environment and take steps to minimize any harm. This might involve using technology to reduce pollution, preserving natural areas, and finding ways to use resources more efficiently. By working together and thinking about the environment in our development plans, we can create a better future for our environment. It's about finding ways to grow and improve while taking care of our home, the earth.
Good day, sir. I am Reponsal John Mark, and my topic is all about what is the relationship of the development to the environmental issues. The relationship between development and environmental issues is complex. Development leads to increased consumption of natural resources, habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change. However, sustainable development aims to balance economic growth and environmental protection, ensuring development meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It involves integrating environmental consideration into decision-making processing to minimize negative impact on the environment. Here are some additional points. First is to the resource consumption. Development typically involves increase of consumption of resources such as water, energy, and raw materials, which can lead to resource depletion and environmental degradation. Next is to the pollution. Industrialization and urbanization often result in pollution of air, water, and soil, which can harm human health and the ecosystem and biodiversity. Next is to the habitat destruction. Uh, the expansion of infrastructure of urban areas can lead to destruction of natural habitats, threatening the survival of species and disrupting ecosystem. Next is to the climate change. Economic development based on fossil fuels contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, which can drive climate change, leading to the impacts such as rising temperature, sea level rise, and extreme weather events. Next is the social impacts. Environmental degradation disproportionately affects vulnerable communities, exacerbating poverty, inequality, and social injustice. Next is to the sustainable development. Sustainable development seeks to address this challenge by promoting economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. It involves strategies such as promoting renewable energy, implementing green technologies, conserving natural resources, and fostering biodiversity conservation. Next is the next and to the global cooperation. Uh, Addressing environmental issues requires international cooperation and collaboration to tackle transboundary challenges such as climate change, deforestation, and pollution. Agreements such as the Paris Agreement on Climate Change and Convention of Biological Diversity aims to facilitate such as cooperation.
I am Decadet Salah Spencer, and my topic is what is the relationship of future of globalization to environmental issues. So, the future of globalization is closely intertwined with environmental issues. As globalization shapes economic, social, and environmental interactions on a global scale, the future of globalization will be shaped by its interaction with environmental issues, requiring integrated and sustainable approaches that balance economic development with environmental protection, social equity, and global cooperation. By promoting green growth, sustainable consumptions and production, and resilient communities, globalization can contribute to a more environmentally sustainable and equitable future for all.